Hello, everyone, and welcome to my very first live stream here on my channel. I'm so excited to have you join me today. The story is called The Curse of the Baobab Tree, a forbidden love story. Set in the vibrant village of Nkala, it tells the tale of Adaora, a young artist, and Kofi, a wealthy businessman, whose love blossoms in the face of family curses and societal barriers. Are you ready to dive into this magical world of love, destiny, and ancient mysteries? Let's begin. It all starts with a chance encounter at the bustling market in Nkala. Adaora, the gifted artist, is painting a beautiful mural, capturing the vibrant energy of the market. But as fate would have it, Kofi, a wealthy businessman with no interest in art, steps in, accidentally ruining her masterpiece. What begins as a clash of words sparks a connection that will change their lives forever. It was just another day at the market and the sun hung low over Nkala, casting golden hues across the bustling market. The air was thick with the scent of ripe mangoes, roasted plantains, and the earthy aroma of handmade crafts. Adaora dipped her brush into a pot of crimson paint, adding the final strokes to her mural. "Watch where you're going." A man in a tailored suit stood before her, his phone pressed to his ear. He had knocked over her paint can, spilling blue pigment across her mural. Adaora's eyes narrowed. "You ruined it." Kofi ended his call and sighed. "I'll pay for the damages." "How much?" "This isn't about money," she snapped. "This is my art. My heart." He hesitated, struck by her passion. "I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you. I'm Kofi, by the way." "Adaora," she said reluctantly. Over the next few weeks, Kofi commissioned Adaora to paint a mural at his tech company's headquarters. As they worked together, their connection deepened. Kofi's family, one of the wealthiest in Nkala, disapproved of Adaora. "She's not one of us," his mother said coldly. "You have a duty to this family." Meanwhile, Adaora struggled with her own doubts. "I'm just a market girl," she told her best friend, Efla. "What could a man like Kofi see?" One evening, while visiting Kofi's family estate, Adaora stumbled upon an old painting in the attic. It depicted a woman who looked eerily like her, standing under a baobab tree. Kofi's grandmother, Nanaya, found her there. "That's Adisa," she said softly. "She was your ancestor." And Kwame. Nanaya revealed the family curse generations ago. Kwame had been forced to abandon Adisa due to societal pressures. Heartbroken, Adisa had placed a curse on the family, condemning them to a cycle of unfulfilled love. The curse can only be broken if two souls truly love each other and are willing to sacrifice everything, Nanaya explained. Determined to break the curse, Adaora and Kofi sought guidance from the village elders. They were told to perform a ritual at the sacred baobab tree, and the air seemed to shimmer with energy. When the ritual ended, Nanaya smiled. "The curse is lifted." Kofi's family, moved by their sacrifice, hosted an art exhibition in the symbolizing the harmony of their worlds. As the sun set over Nkala, Adaora and Kofi stood before her mural, now restored and more vibrant than ever. "We did it," she whispered. "We did," he replied, kissing her hand. "And our love will echo, just like the baobab tree." And now, as the days go by, we move into a new chapter of Adaora and Kofi's journey. Picture it, an entirely new setting. No longer the vibrant, bustling market, but a sleek, modern world that seems far removed from the one Adaora knows so well. Let's step into scene 2, the commission. Over the next few weeks, Kofi commissioned Adaora to paint a mural at his tech company's headquarters. The building, a sleek glass structure, stood in stark contrast to the vibrant market where Adaora usually worked. As she painted, employees stopped to admire her work, drawn to the vivid colors and powerful imagery. The mural depicted scenes of African life, farmers tending to their fields, children playing in the streets, and elders sharing stories under the baobab tree. It was a celebration of culture, resilience, and community. The market was a symphony of life. The air was thick with the scent of ripe mangoes, roasted plantains, and the earthy aroma of handmade crafts. Vendors called out to passers-by, their voices blending with the rhythmic beats of traditional drums. Adaora's store was a riot of color, with paintings of village life, intricate beadwork, and handwoven baskets. She loved the market. It was where she felt most alive, surrounded by the sights, sounds, and smells of her heritage. Kofi's company, on the other hand, was a world away. The building's glass walls reflected the sky, and the lobby was a sleek, minimalist space with polished floors and modern art. Adaora felt out of place at first, her paint-stained hands and colorful attire a stark contrast to the employees in their tailored suits. But as she worked on the mural, she began to feel at home. The employees, drawn to her work, would stop to ask about the stories behind her paintings. Adaora would smile and tell them about the farmers, the children, and the elders, the heart and soul of her community. One afternoon, as they took a break from painting, Kofi asked, "Why do you paint?" Adaora smiled. "It's how I tell our stories. The ones that aren't in books or on TV. The ones that matter." Kofi nodded thoughtfully. "Your work is powerful. It speaks to people." "It speaks to you?" she teased. "More than you know," he admitted. "I've never met anyone like you, Adaora. You see the world in a way I can't even imagine." Adaora blushed, looking down at her paint-stained hands. "I'm just a girl from the village. You're a man with the world at your feet." Kofi stepped closer, his voice soft. "And yet, it's you who's teaching me about the world." Their connection deepened with each passing day. Kofi found himself enchanted by Adaora's stories of her village and her dreams of showcasing African art to the world. Adaora, in turn, was drawn to Kofi's quiet determination and the vulnerability he hid behind his polished exterior. But their love was not without challenges. Kofi's family, one of the wealthiest in Nkala, disapproved of Adaora. "She's not one of us," his mother said coldly during a family dinner. "You have a duty to this family." Kofi's father, a stern man with a voice like thunder, added, "You'll marry someone from our circle. That's final." Kofi clenched his fist under the table but said nothing. Later, he confided in Adaora. "They don't understand us. But I won't let them tear us apart." Adaora sighed. "I'm just a market girl. What could a man like you see in me?" "Everything," he replied, taking her hand. "You're everything." The journey of Adaora and Kofi continues, but this time, we step into a world that is unfamiliar and filled with cold expectations. Kofi's family estate is a symbol of everything Adaora is not, a world of wealth, status, and tradition. Let's see how their love faces its greatest challenge yet in scene 3: family disapproval. Kofi's family estate was a sprawling compound surrounded by high walls and lush gardens. The main house, a colonial-style mansion with white pillars and wide verandas, stood as a symbol of their wealth and status. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of polished wood and expensive perfume. Portraits of stern-faced ancestors lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow Adaora as she walked through the grand hallway. The dinner table was set with fine china and crystal glasses, the silverware gleaming under the chandelier's light. Kofi's parents sat at either end of the table, their expressions unreadable. His mother, a tall woman with sharp features and an even sharper tongue. "So, Adaora," she began, her voice dripping with condescension, "Kofi tells us you're an artist. How quaint." Adaora forced a smile, her hands gripping the edge of her chair. "Yes, I paint murals. It's how I share our stories." Stories. Kofi's father interjected, his deep voice resonating like thunder. What stories could a market girl possibly have to tell? Kofi's jaw tightened. Adaora's work is incredible. She's showcasing our culture in ways no one else can. His mother's lips curled into a cold smile. Culture? Is that what you call it? Kofi, you have a duty to this family. You can't throw away your future on some village girl. Adaora's heart sank, but she held her head high. I may be from the village, but my work speaks for itself. It's a celebration of who we are. Kofi's father slammed his hand on the table, making the glasses tremble. Enough. Kofi, you will marry someone from our circle. That's final. Kofi stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor. I won't let you dictate my life. Adaora is the woman I love, and I won't abandon her. His mother's eyes narrowed. If you choose her, you lose everything. The family fortune, your position, your future. Is she worth that? Kofi's voice was steady but filled with emotion. She's worth more than all of it. The room fell silent, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Adaora stood, her voice trembling but resolute. I may not have your wealth or status, but I have my art, my pride, and my love for Kofi. That's enough for me. Kofi's mother scoffed. Love won't pay the bills, dear. But if you're so determined to ruin my son's life, don't expect us to stand by and watch. As they left the estate, Adaora felt a mix of anger and sadness. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble. Kofi took her hand, his grip firm. You're not the problem. They are. I won't let them tear us apart. Adaora looked into his eyes, seeing the determination and love that had drawn her to him in the first place. What if they're right? What if I'm not enough? Kofi pulled her into an embrace. You're everything to me,